So what happens when we don't properly fund our general maintenance budget and we don't properly staff our facility staff? It's this thing called deferred maintenance. I've just thrown up a couple of definitions that I pulled out of a thing called the internet, if anybody's ever heard of that. And it's deferred maintenance is the thing that we are seeing that are killing a lot of churches. And I mean that literally. We saw this being a terrible trend during COVID. We unfortunately got involved with a number of church closings during COVID that no longer could take care of their buildings. And they just needed to shut their doors. And they couldn't take care of their buildings because they had so much deferred maintenance. And I had one church that I worked with that was spending 70% of their budget on operations costs just to keep the building going. Well, at that point in time, you're no longer a church, you're a property management company that meets on Sunday. And so deferred maintenance is one of those things that sneaks up on us. And we have empirical data from all the churches that we work with, that churches that have deferred maintenance, and right now it's about 100% of every church we work with, underfund their general maintenance and they understaff their general maintenance staffing for facilities. This is the two primary reasons. Simple things. These are pictures of actual churches that our team has gone out and done assessments on. I love the bottom middle one. Who wouldn't want to just roof over your air conditioning unit? I'm not going to tell you who the guilty culprit is. They're not on the call. But when you buy a 1 million square foot mall, which they never should have done, and you don't need that air conditioner anymore, you just roof over it. But simple little things, that bottom right-hand corner, what's ultimately going to happen where that water's ponding and puddling right now? It's eventually going to get underneath that concrete. It's going to get underneath the footing where that column is. And what happens when water undermines our buildings? We get settling, we get cracking, we get all sorts of things. That's deferred maintenance. That is a form of deferred maintenance that could easily be fixed with a little piece of black pipe or a splash block. And yet we get so fixated on other things that we sometimes forget that those are things that we need to do. So what do other people say about deferred maintenance? Both of these quotes are from, one's from the NEA and another one is from a green initiative company that did school assessments about 2 years ago. One of them, for every $1 of deferred maintenance, is going to cost you $4 in capital renewals. And for every necessary repair, you're going to spend 30 times that at its point of next failure. I go back to my window example with caulk. You could spend $5 on caulk, or you could spend $10 to rip out the window and fix the drywall and repair the studs and so on and so on and so forth. So deferred maintenance is a significant issue that we're finding with churches. And my guess is some of you have churches that are only 5, 10, 15 years old and you'll be thinking, yeah, it's not a big deal. You know, everything still looks new. I assure you it's not looking new in certain areas. Ductwork, your carpet, I'm sure, if you have carpet, is not still looking new. And you will have other deferred maintenance type of things. So here's a fun fact that no one actually wants to hear. So we've been keeping a record of the millions and millions of square feet that our company assesses. So besides our software, we do facility condition assessment. So I've got 2 guys that are on the road almost every week assessing facilities. And this is not such a fun fact, but out of the, I don't know, 9 or 10 million square feet that we've done over the last couple of years, on average, we're seeing $25 to $40 per square foot of deferred maintenance in every one of those churches. So quickly, just kind of run the number yourself. How many square feet do you have? And multiply it times 25, multiply it times 40, and you most likely have about that much deferred maintenance in your facility. That might be your parking lot. It could be the facility, either one. For some of you, that's a really big number. And your capital reserve funding shouldn't go towards taking care of your deferred maintenance. Your deferred maintenance is something that should have been done a year, 2 years, 5 years ago. And so it's deferred because you didn't do it. It's not something that's going to need to be done because it's an end of life kind of thing.